listening to the Dynamic Women podcast. Each week, you'll be inspired by our global community of women. They'll share with you tools and stories to help you be dynamic in every area of life. Here's your host, award-winning coach, and the CEO and founder of Dynamic Women, Diane Rolston.
Not just at the start of the year, but at any point, where should you focus your energy and attention? That is what I'm going to talk about in this episode. Welcome, lovely ladies, to the Dynamic Women podcast. And I am Diane Rolston, your host. So what should you be focusing on? It's the start of the year. It is 2021. And maybe in 2020, you're thinking, wow, that was a crazy year. I had no control. I wasn't able to run my business as I normally do. I wasn't able to live my life as I normally do. I had to make some big decisions about my business, my career, my family, my living arrangements, what if I was going to homeschool, or how I was just going to live my life. And so now coming into 2021, or really whenever you're listening to this, there's always that question of, what should I be focusing on? And maybe in 2020 and still continuing on, you have to keep checking with regulations, with restrictions, with the ways of keeping everyone safe. And you're like, that's where I'm focusing. I'm focusing on the news. I'm focusing on reading up and being informed. But is that really how you want to live your life? So what do you want to focus on in 2021? Well, I'm going to give you today in this episode some questions, some powerful questions. Being that my background and what I do is coaching, powerful questions are always the things that move us forward. So I'm going to think about it like in 2020 and in past years. I want you to ask yourself, first of all, where have you invested your time, energy, and money? What have you focused your time, energy, and money on? Maybe you're like, I'm not sure. Or it was all those things you talked about with the coronavirus. Well, even like 2 years ago. And if I was to take your calendar, or maybe even take your phone, your GPS, and figure out where were you spending your time? What were you doing? Where would you say that you focused your energy and attention in 2020? Where? What was important enough? What was it on? Was it your home? Was it your relationships? Was it your business? Where did you put a lot of time, energy, and money? So by me talking about that now, I hope you've got some idea of where you did focus. And moving forward, is that still where you want to focus? And is that the best place to focus your time, energy, and money? Well, I'll tell you, the best place that's going to give you the biggest return on investment. You need to know that, right? What is going to be giving you the best ROI? And what is that area? So you got to think, if I put $1 in, will I get $10 back? If I put 10 minutes in, will I get 100 minutes back? Which area, what could you focus on that would actually give you a 10 times return? Well, you know it. You know the area. It's you. You are where you should spend your time. You are where you should spend your energy. And you are where you should invest your money. Because you're going to have the biggest return, not just in your work, not just on your business, but in every single area of life, 10 areas of life. And so I'm going to ask you some questions to kind of follow up with this, to help you to decide, to help you get to the place of like, yeah, totally, I got to invest in myself. But first off, why don't we invest in ourselves? Well, maybe we grew up in a place, in a time when you spent money on the things you needed. And thinking about the things you needed in the traditional sense, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we need shelter. So I'm paying my rent or I'm paying my mortgage. We need food. So, paying for your groceries, maybe medicine, clothes, all these different things are things that you really have to buy to be able to stay safe and secure. And then there's the wants. Those cute shoes or handbag, maybe some special spa services, the things that you think are the extras or that you still buy, but you're not getting as much of an investment back. We've maybe been taught to go without. You could feel like if I'm going to have any money to invest, it's going to be in marketing my business or in paying for services for my business. And, that's all great. But your yearly budget should also include personal development. Some people wouldn't even think twice about putting 20, 40, 100 grand down for university, but then maybe wouldn't invest in a counseling session or hiring an expert to support them or enrolling in a course or a program that supports them. So what's the difference? So answer these questions. What they're going to do when you do answer them, it's going to bring some things into light. And it's going to help you decide what you want to focus on. So first off, what do you get excited about? You do get excited about stuff, right? You do. So let me know. What do you like? What excites you? What gets you all fired up? Do you get excited about watching your kids play sports? Do you get excited about playing the piano? Or maybe about cooking or your favorite TV show or a certain type of car. So what gets you all fired up? What gets you all excited? Now here's the question you've maybe never been asked. How excited do you get about your own potential? Do you even get excited about your potential? Have you even thought about your potential? You're like, oh, not really. I just kind of make goals and go for it. But if you can get excited about your own personal potential and set goals around that, where could you be at the end of the year? So have you figured that out? You may be thinking about goals and you've written down your goals and maybe you've written down a business plan or a strategy for the next 12 months. But have you planned about where you want to be and who you want to be by the end of the year? I was talking about this today in my Dynamic Year program to all the ladies in that. And I said, imagine. So you imagine with me now. Imagine if you were just 1% better every single day. So you worked on your potential and you stepped into that just 1% every day. So you did something to better yourself, whatever it may be, listening to a podcast, reading a book. Now, if you do that 1% every single day, by the end of the next 12 months, you'd be 365% better. Isn't that amazing? And that's all you really need to do. So how excited do you now get about your own potential? Have you thought about what your own potential is? Or do you feel like you're in the fixed mindset of, well, this is how I am and I'm just not good at that or not good at this, or I've kind of capped out where I can get promotions, or I've kind of hit the level of my business success? Kids. Think of kids. We talk to kids about their potential. You can be anything you want. Just try hard. You can go for it. What do you want to be when you grow up? We say, oh, that kid's got so much potential in sports or music or school or whatever it may be. And we talk to kids about where they should go and what they need to do to get there. But are we doing that for adults still? I don't think so. And do you have a plan on what you need to do to be able to reach that full potential? Probably not. Most of the people I speak with in the audiences when I'm giving keynotes or doing workshops, they don't even know what they want. They don't know enough about them. And then when they do well, they don't even celebrate their successes. So how can you step into your potential if you don't even celebrate who you already are? That I can go on for another day or two to talk about that. But coming back to the focus for the next 12 months. And I'm not talking about just like, oh yeah, potential to have this much in sales. No, your human potential. So yes, we can get excited about business. We can get excited about goals, but not to be a downer. You're only consistent in your life, and jobs come and go. And sadly, some marriages come and go, and people come and go. Health comes and goes. You are the only constant. You are the only one who will stay the same in your life, meaning you're the only one that will be there. And by staying the same, I don't mean that you're always going to be the same person. But you will be the only one, the only constant in your own story. If we think of your life as a book, a story, chapters, it's you. And as long as you're living, it's all you. And whatever you put inside of you is going to grow. It's going to multiply in your life. So that first question of how excited are you about your own human potential? That's crucial. If you're like, not really, never thought about it, then what is your potential? You got to really look at that. What potential is still in you? Sometimes we step out of our comfort zone and we do things that we're like, wow, I can't believe I did that. That's potential. So where do you want your potential to be at the end of the year? The second question, how much do you invest in your own potential? Do you have a budget? A budget in your life, a budget in your business for your own personal growth? Maybe in your business, you have a marketing budget, but do you have a budget for your personal professional development? You maybe in your life have a vacation budget or a clothing budget, but what's your budget for you? Oftentimes in coaching, I'll get someone new in one of my programs and they'll say, wow, this is like the first time in a long time I've ever invested in myself. Well, how do you figure you're going to grow if you're not investing in yourself? So how much are you going to invest in yourself in the next 12 months? On your human potential in the next 12 months? I get it. Jimmy Choo's, beautiful pair of shoes. I've heard clients say, oh, I would never pay that for myself. But then they go and buy a really expensive bag. The investment is not going to be recouped. And you may be thinking, oh, Diane, there's good resale value for those different items. And there can be. But the thing is, when you invest in yourself, when you build out your human potential, more results come. It's the one time that you can really 10x it. Because not only are you investing in yourself in that one area of life, whether you invest in cooking classes or in a personal trainer, so the health category, or in the fun and recreation category of the cooking classes. But, you can then transfer that learning, that potential, that growth into other areas of life. And there are 10 areas. And as the ladies in the Dynamic Year program have been finding, you can transfer the skills over. You can transfer the potential over. Isn't that a cool idea? And when I talk to my Dynamic Women community, and if you're not part of that, please jump on Facebook and find the Dynamic Women Global Community there. It's free. I like to go in there live. And I talked about this in there, and one of the ladies said, hey, Diane, yeah, totally. I take care of myself. I do self-care. I do meditation, and I exercise, and, I take bubble baths and that sort of thing. Those are process goals. Those are process habits. So yeah, every day you're like doing those things, building great habits, and that's awesome. And that is definitely going to build your potential. But what's like the other things that you're doing? I actually took African drumming and I thought it would build my musical side a little bit. But what I did find is that it built my resilience. After, the first class was fun. No one knew anything. Second class, we're going to be remembering what we did in the first class and kind of building on that. And that's when my brain just did not want to put 2 and 2 together to make the movements happen. And so class 3, I didn't want to go back. I really had to stay committed. It wasn't easy. Building my human potential in an area of fun really helped me to be more resilient in my business. It helped me to understand what my clients go through when they have that challenge, that universal challenge line that they face that they don't want to move forward. So yes, it's great to build those habits, but at the end of the year, have you really built your human potential? Let me share a little story with you. It's funny. I've gone now to the extreme of not batting an eyelash about dropping 5, 10, 15, or up to 20 grand to work with a specific coach or an expert or take a program. But I can remember when I started and there was a Toastmasters conference or convention, whatever they're called. And this is right at the beginning of when I'm thinking about starting my business. And I think it was maybe like $200 to go. And I was like, whoa, that's so much money to be investing. At the time I was spending money on this convention. And should I really go? And in comparison now to other conferences and conventions, that's like 1/10 of what I pay. But at the time, my fixed mindset or my old money stories from my parents around just buying what you need, that wasn't maybe something I felt I needed. And so putting that $200 out for that conference was a lot. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. And now things have switched. So, as I said, it wouldn't bat an eyelash about dropping 5, 10, or 20 grand on my personal development. And again, it's an investment because I know I will 10x it. But it's so funny because, when I was going to reach one of my goals, I like to set rewards for myself. And one of the rewards was going to be a Louis Vuitton bag. And I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be my reward. When I hit my goal, my next target, I'm going to get it. And I saw someone with one. I was like, yeah, that's the one. And then I was at my naturopath's office, waiting in the waiting room. And there was a woman that came in and she's carrying the bag that I want. And so we're sitting there and I see it. I'm looking at it as she's rummaging around, trying to find something in it, and then goes to the counter. And so I'm really seeing it up close. It's kind of exciting because I hadn't gone in the shop. I just saw it on, at a distance. So then I think, okay, well, now that I've seen it in person, I'm going to go look. I'm going to go look what the bag is called. I'm going to go learn more about the bag. And I get on the site and I see the price of that bag. And I was like, really? that bag is that amount of money? No way. I'm not buying that bag. And so I've gone to this place of like, that's not an investment for me. And hey, if you like Louis Vuitton bags or Jimmy Choos or whatever, clothes, whatever you like, that, you buy what you want to buy. But I'm just sharing a story of how I was like, man, I can't have that. I'm not going to have that. And it's not that I couldn't afford it. It's that I didn't see how that was a great place to invest my money and how that was a great place to focus the money. That wasn't going to grow my potential. And then I get online and I see, that course, that looks good. That program, that looks good. Doing some coaching with that person, that looks great. And I invest in those. I focus on those. And that's how I've been able to have the growth that I've had in my life and business. And so back to the question of, for you, how much do you want to invest in your own personal development? And you're going to know that by asking yourself first, what do you want in your potential? Where do you want to grow? And then you can reverse engineer it. You can think, well, I want to grow in this way. I want to evolve in this way. I want to reach my potential in this way. And who's going to help me get there? What is going to help me get there? Now, when we come to the budget, always thinking about in the budget, there needs to be a column. There needs to be a line for you. That was always a cool, thing when I was talking with one of the women that I coach, who's a VP, a top VP in a company. And she just mentioned they were doing budget planning. And she said, yeah, your name is in the budget. And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, you, Diane Rolston coaching me is on a line in our budget. And there is a set amount of dollars for us to coach together every other week. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. My name is there. And so what name do you want to be there? What program do you want to be there? What course? Whatever it may be. And again, it doesn't have to be business. It could be a counselor. It could be a health coach. Someone just to support you to reach your potential. Maybe it's going to a retreat center. Maybe it's enrolling in some physical course, program, or something. Now, the second piece of this also is, where are you going to focus your time? How much time are you willing to invest in yourself? How much time are you willing to give yourself for your own potential? Is it 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week? I've met people who, like Peter Legg and others who are highly successful, and heard from Warren Buffett, and they read like all day. They read at least a book a week and multiple newspapers. And I think Warren Buffett basically reads most of his day. He invested in himself and his knowledge. That's why he can do so well. So how much time? And is this in daily habits like the meditation, the exercise, maybe prayer, journaling, gratitude, whatever it looks like, reading, listening to podcasts? Or is it an additional practice like seeing a coach every other week, attending a mastermind so often in the month, spending 2 days at a conference? So how many days, how many hours over the year do you want to invest in your potential? So here are the 2 ways to think of it. What are the daily habits you're going to do? That meditation, the exercise, the praying, the reading the book, listening to podcasts, maybe other kind of things like this. And then in addition, the taking courses, attending a program, going to a conference, convention, or a retreat. So how many of those are you going to take this year? And I know we've got COVID, but there's still the virtual world. I'm putting on the Confidence Summit at the end of February, online, virtually. So it's doable to not just take the program, but then to meet people from all over that you wouldn't normally get a chance to connect with, and to learn from teachers and coaches and advisors and strategists and philosophers or whatever from all over the world. So I'm going to finish this off with just an idea that I want you to be thinking about. Because you might think, I don't want to invest all this in not knowing that I'm going to get the result that I'm really going for. So I'm just going to stick with my goals rather than invest in myself. And I want you to think of Olympians. Olympians invest their time. They invest their energy. They invest their money on potentially 10 seconds for the sprinters, right? That they do every 4 years. So you got one shot. You just spent 4 years dedicated, working on their one shot at that gold medal. And that doesn't even set them up for life. Now, yes, all the dedication, all the skills that they learn along the way, those are things that are going to be just so invaluable for life. They're going to be able to transfer those skills to other areas. However, are you willing to invest in your human potential for 4 years for the shot at something? Maybe the answer is no, but look at the hundreds of thousands of people that do. And the cool thing for you is that what you invest in yourself could pay you back tomorrow. What you invest time in could save you time tomorrow. Then a month from now, a week from now, 10 years from now. So really, whatever you invest now, this year, in your time, your energy, and your money, it's going to multiply every single year. Because not only are you learning for now, for right now, for these months, for this year, but you get to tap into that every single year. So this is where I want to end. You're going to have a more guaranteed return. Olympians will do it for just that 10 seconds, 4 years down the road. And you can do it with maybe just thinking about the end of the year. So if you're still wondering, where do I focus myself? Remember, you are the only constant. You are the only thing that you can count on that will keep giving back to you. Investing time and energy and money in yourself is the best ROI, return on investment. So figure out who you want to be at the end of the year, not just what goals you want to accomplish. Think about, if you can be 1 degree better every single day, how do you want to be better? I'm not saying change yourself. I'm saying elevate, expand. Push out of your comfort zone. And if you could reach that higher level of potential, what does that look like? What will it give you? I'm curious. Share it with me. So I'm going to wrap up here. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you commenting. When I hear that what I've said has impacted someone, they've applied something, it's worked for them, it just makes everything I do so worthwhile. I am speaking to you, but it's your time to implement the things that I've said. So make sure you grab a pen and paper, write down the answers to the questions, and really get going with this. For those of you who are like, yeah, I want to talk more about this, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. And if you haven't yet, please go on over to the Dynamic Women Global Community on Facebook. The link is in the show notes. And join. It's free to join there and hang out and talk. And have you written us a review yet? Maybe now's the time. So jump on in. Let us know what you love about the show so that we can keep repeating that. We are going to be, in this year, starting to share our listeners' comments with a shout out to you. So do that and subscribe and share with your friends. We'll see you next time. Stay dynamic.
Thank you, Dynamic Women, for joining us today. Please hop on over to iTunes to subscribe and leave us a review. Who do you know who needs to hear our message? We'd love it if you'd share our channel with your friends and family. If you're ready to be more dynamic, have more balance and more success, head over to www.dynamicwomenclub.com/free gift for your Key to Success book. Stay dynamic.